What's up, guys? AB Investments is back with you again. I want to address a couple of things before tomorrow's open. If you've watched some of the, earlier videos that I have uploaded, you probably have an idea on what I'm expecting at least for next week, as far as like the two theories. Whether it's gonna go down or whether it's gonna go up. Just watch the other videos and you'll see because they're a little bit long. Um, Now I wanna answer a couple of questions. One of them was about if AMC could reach $1,000 or even $10,000. Um, you know, uh, Simply that question was never around for the last year. It's just started surfacing now because of all the fears, especially some YouTubers spreading some fear amongst the community and all that stuff. And some are saying they're just doing it to look out, and you know, but in a way that's still kind of like FUD, because if someone is not influencing your uh, your price expectations, then why put a price out there? You know, why say that, oh, between this and that? And we understand it is a managed event. Of course, they have to have money on hand before letting the ball fall or drop. And this thing was kicking off ever since that um, last year in January when they took the button away from Robinhood. I believe that in that on that weekend when they did that, they had about 3 days to think about how they want to tackle this, because I think what happened was they opened up the closet and saw that it was really horrific of the amount of um, shares that were bought, and how against the wall their backs were. So they were like, okay, well, they found a new solution. They thought that it was going to work. To a certain extent, it did. Which is start printing out a lot of synthetics and more synthetics, and utilize that to their advantage to make money out of. And again, if you've seen the other previous videos, you would know, or you would understand how they're making money off of us buying and holding, and especially making money from the synthetics. Now we have this question of the price target and stuff is a kind of a morale question, because here's how I see it. If if they were able to do this shady stuff by letting you buy fake shares and still continuously make money out of it, um, through lending and through the shares themselves, then how is it, like, morally, how is it normal for us to let them get off the hook easy, or in other words, cheap? Because all these talks about the 3 to 800, $1,000 share, whatever, this is exactly like haven for them, because they already got that much money from us in return already, or in between other plays. How did they do that? Okay, well, all these billions of synthetic shares, those were not given for free, they were bought. So they received something, right? I agree. You're thinking like, okay, but they didn't get $1,000 per share. Well, here's how they equivalently made that: through manipulating the price, obviously, and then winning throughout a whole year and a half through all the winning all these options, putting them all out of the money and making all that money. That's all adding up. Besides whatever position, for example, you or I initially have taken, or as many synthetic shares we've bought from them. By the way, I am a hookah smoker. I'm not promoting hookah, guys, or smoke, but I have it made, so I'm not gonna let it burn to waste in this video. So you might see me take a puff or two like this. So yeah, um, so to me, morally letting them get away with these stupid numbers, this is FUD. Whoever's mentioning this stuff, it doesn't matter who it is. This is FUD. Um, how to protect yourself, I can tell you basically what I think personally. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But personally, do you think if, for example, 80% of the people holding AMC or GameStop or Sundial, because I personally, again, I will answer another question, but I'll answer it right now. I think that all the meme stocks are going to run at the same time. Again, I mentioned this in the previous videos. There's no way they will let any other plays be on the table, especially like Sundial or BBIG, SPCE, Cause, all those Workhorse. A lot of people are sleeping on Workhorse. They're not gonna leave these on the table for people when they make money from this thing to jump right into. And plus, they're initiating that IEX system. The only way that system can work properly is if everything is kind of like set up for it from the get-go. All perfect laid out foundation so that they can do whatever, whether it's going to be bad for us or good for us. All that will be figured out when the system gets implemented officially in all markets, across all markets, not just one of the 17 or the 19 markets. So they're not gonna let that happen. So they've been making so much money off of options, puts, calls, you name it, shorting illegally, like, selling off of illegal, off of an invisible price. I guess that should not be the case. And again, the fear about institutions selling from above. Don't we know, like, why should that even matter? Don't we own the float? Don't we own the float 10, 15, 20x? It doesn't matter what they have and what they sell. If we don't sell, it will not affect us. I mean, again, the synthetic shares will not clean the system. And again, what the SEC and what the system is trying to do, and the new IEX system that's trying to go in place, it can't do nothing with synthetics. So therefore, whoever is dropping whatever from the institutions above, if it's a synthetic, even ours, if they're synthetic shares, they're just being bought. But then after that, they're being thrown away. Like, obviously, like a trace for a crime that they don't want to ever be found out. So the only shares that will matter are the real shares. So if all those are held, then how could possibly the price drop? Okay, if they try to manipulate more, they can't, because they've been holding the whole stock market hostage to these conditions and these gimmicks for over a year and a half. So therefore, this whole thing has to be over with. The best way was, again, they starved everyone for a year so that they can make them agree with, like, be happy with whatever price comes their way after that first halt. Hopefully that does not work on you or anyone. I know it's not going to work on me. But again, theoretically, even if people dump all the floats, the billions of shares that we own, if just 80% of the people of the float, the original float, is holding, then the price will automatically be at a very, very high price, especially if it makes it all the way to the implementation of the new system. Because by then, supposedly, I would assume that all synthetics have been already gotten rid of. But if all the float is purchased, then the price goes up or stays up. So I have no fear as far as that. Will it go to 1,000? If people are holding, fuck yeah, I will. If it goes to, if it will go to 10,000, of course. If people are holding, it will. Another idea is that there's some fear. There's some fear about the idea of it going to courts, and then the SEC pulling it off the market. Okay, well, guess what? Do you think a case with like millions of people on it, do you think that's something that they want to take to court? If we are all holding, do you think that's something that they would have a chance at winning? Maybe they will win a lawsuit against one or two guys or a group of people, but not against millions. So again, I'm not trying to influence anyone on anything. I'm just saying my thoughts, and I'm mentioning my thoughts, and I'm saying how this thing will go. Like letting it go for cheap is absolutely selling yourself cheap, and then you can literally call yourself an ape. Honestly, and just in my opinion, I think. Now, there was a, the idea of, again, that's just me answering that as far as like going to court, being suspended or whatever. We know that there's halts and there's suspensions. If the SEC really thinks that, again, this contradicts that idea of them taking it off the stock market if it poses a threat to security, to the system. We already know that it already does pose a systematic problem, as is. GameStop by itself running to 400, make Congress meetings and Congress, like, berating the Robin Hood guy and all that stuff. And they didn't even, at that time, they didn't even let AMC go. They stopped it like at 26, 27. We already know that small numbers will pose systematic failures, but the real question is, they've been collecting so much money, billions and billions of dollars, and I won't be surprised if it's trillions of dollars already. In fact, it is trillions of dollars that they've been collecting over this whole year worth of fake crap that they've been given, and then taking illegally all these illegally won options, whether puts or calls. They've made trillions of dollars in that. So they expect this whole play, and this is basically what they're trying to do, their plan all along, to make this play this big so that they can for sure make money when it's all said and done. I mean, of course, when you tell me pay $5 billion, but over the last year I made 50 billion, no problem. That's just like how the SEC finds those hedge funds for wrongdoing, steal 5 million and give them a $10,000 fine. So that's the same thing. It's just we're the SEC in this case. Like we're letting them get away for cheap. Unfortunately, if that was to happen, how do you protect yourself from all that crap? Again, I've said in my other videos, always get your initial investment out. Doesn't matter what the price is. Get your initial investment out, and that's what I do. And then the rest is, takes the pressure off, and then you're ready to rock and roll to the real deal. That it's just as simple as that. I'll come back to you guys with another video after this one.